Sports.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Check 280. Check 53's Mike. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
Well, Parker, it's pretty simple. One thing you don't want to see defensively, on the very first snap of the game, some guy running free like we just saw there.
Heck of a start for this offense, no doubt. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. They showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now they try the right side here. He will push his way down to about the 14. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Will Dissly, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Nice 57's Mike. Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
Wentz now on first down. Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
First down, Philadelphia.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Check 80 weapons. Check hot route.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase him.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And that's caught inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost him.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are. Stay with who you know. And
that's caught inside the 20. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 56 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now they try the right side here. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Wilson. And it's caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Derek Watt, his second touchdown on the season. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? On second down, it's Sanders. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he's got his man. That's Landry. Give him 30 yards there.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
13-0 is the score after one on EA Sports.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On first down, Wentz. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Ziggy Ansah able to record his 5th sack of the season. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Lion. Sunday.
To throw, it's Wentz. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50. Hey, Zoo.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ezekiel Ansah in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So well done there, and these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do, and now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
He pitches it, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down.
Well. 22, Jet, Palmer. 22, Jet, Palmer. Let's go. Hey, we got... Alert. Mike, 53. Watch the back. Hayward. Jet, 53's Mike. Jet.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want him to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. After the loss, here's 2nd and 12 from the 18.
Check three.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. It's complete to Watt.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Well. Bang.
To throw is Wilson. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Ready? Slam, slam. Very good. Switch.
It's a 2nd down run to Sanders. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. To throw is Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slapped. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A gain there of 21 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Wentz. This one to McGuire. Screenplay. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So they have the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Throwing now is Wentz. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Trying to get it to Landry there.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, but it'll be second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
380. 53 is the mic. Go 14. Come on, QB, come on.
3rd and 2. Now Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
John Wilson on the return. The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Wentz now to throw. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Let's go.
A gain of 33 yards on the play.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Throwing is Wentz. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Wentz going to throw. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
He was covered by Josh Norman.
No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left.
6. Hey, kill it. Hey, 4, 2, kill it. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check, check. 5. Switch.
A final shot before half for Wentz. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson. As time expires in the first half, as they are now on the board here in the first half. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen, but when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They showed great poise, understanding of situation, making sure they got to the end zone in order to complete that pass and take a nice momentum into the locker room.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
From the 44, Wentz, blitz coming, and down he goes.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And that's complete to Sanders. As Sanders has it poked free. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll increase their lead to 28. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Come on now. Let's go.
Running the jet sweep, Landry. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Jarvis Landry, the 30. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 62 yards on the ground. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles get a score closer.
Let's go. Great. Hey, we're good.
Now Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. This will be fielded at the 6. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against? So the face mask gets him a free 15 to start the drive. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. Now Carson fumbles the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. If you got to find a good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Brings up 2nd and 11. 44-yard line.
Man 5-7. 81. Bravo.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Well, there was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Jet bomber. Rush in. Watch twist. Back. 82. Smooth.
Wentz to throw for it on 4th. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. Wilson now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw again is Wilson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. On 1st down, Wentz. Catch is made by Arcega-Whiteside. A gain of 6 there on 1st. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Hey, man. Watch the boot. Here we go.
Right back to Sanders on first down. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To throw, it's Wentz. And that will be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. Landry, the intended target.
I'm not sure, Brandon. We've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
A 7-yard pickup.
From the 31, Wentz over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. 7 yards there and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Wentz on the give to Sanders. And he loses the football a second time. And the Seahawks have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. There he goes, left side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 19 on the year. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Seahawks. Extra point up and through by Myers. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the other.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
That right now That's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Winston company with some work to do after the sack.
Check, Delta. Fresno. Mike 50, Mike 50. Kill. Mike 50. Here, shift. You better bring it. I'm letting you know.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Watch twist.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
And checking that NFL scoreboard there in the 4th quarter down in Arizona. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A victory there would mean they're 6th on the year. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. Past the 20, 10, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Did you hear that? Did you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
This is taken at his 4.
Let's go.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here we go, back. 120.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Ooh, the juke. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. This will be taken very short. And he will be brought down here at at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
Here we go. 180!
It's our time. It's our time.
Hey, look, what's this done?
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11. At the 15.
You draw Corker. Come on, boy. What's this done?
Another run here with Sanders. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Running right, here's Sanders. And he's got room. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
In your face.
Down the man inside. Down the man. Ram. What's this?
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Now Wentz going to lead the Eagles up to go for 2.
He's coming.
One final try now for Wentz. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Focus, defense, focus.
Check 9. Hey, alert.
Wilson wants to throw it. He lets it fly for Lockett. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you still